Hi everyone, I'm Laura from GoSimpli, and today I have a standing weightless arms workout. You're not going to need any equipment at all. In fact, you could do this in your pajamas if you want to. You probably don't even need shoes. We're just going to be standing in one spot. I've got a warm-up and a cool-down, and hopefully your arms will feel the burn as we go through the whole workout. So in just a few seconds here, we'll get started with our warm-up. We're going to do the warm-up exercises for 30 seconds apiece, and we're going to start with alternating shoulder shrugs. So we're going to sort of circle forwards and then backwards. So just roll them up to your ears to the back, and then same thing coming forward. And just sort of loosen up that shoulder joint. So as I said, we're going to do all the warm-up exercises for 30 seconds apiece, and we'll do a cool down at the end as well. And the actual exercises in the workout will be 45 seconds each, with 15 seconds in between, so I can let you know what's coming up next. Okay, so now we're going to do like elbow circles. So I just sort of make fists with my hands and focus on rolling around through the elbow, and do a few in one direction and then in the other direction, and just keep going back and forth. It doesn't really matter if you're getting the exact same number of rotations in each direction. Just make sure you get some in both directions. Okay, next up, we're just going to scissor our arms in front of our body, and I'm switching which arm is on top whenever I cross in front. So try to remember to do that, but don't beat yourself up if you're not remembering on every repetition. Just try to remember to do some of each. And after this, we're going to do arm scissors going the other way. So we're just going to go up and down, and you can alternate which arm, or you can do both arms together if you prefer it like that. I like to do one and then the other. I seem to get a bit of a better swing that way. It's whatever works for you. I like to turn sideways so I don't hit the wall behind me. I don't have a very big room here, but it's the space that I've got, so I'm just happy to have a space where I can work out. Okay, so you don't need to run and grab any equipment. We're going to get started right into the workout. They're 45 seconds apiece with 15 seconds, and we're going to start with arm circles forward. So we're going to have our arms straight out to the side, and I want you to squeeze those muscles in the arms, and we're just going to do smaller circles forward, not too big, and keep everything firm throughout the arm all the way to the fingertips. So all of the exercises we're doing today, I always think at first, oh, I'm not lifting any weights. It's going to be a waste of my time. And then about halfway through the workout, I'm like, oh my goodness, my arms are on fire. How can it be? Because I'm not lifting any weights. So most of these exercises become very humbling when you realize that your own body weight is definitely enough. Maybe not enough for all of your workouts to have nothing, but definitely for most of the time. Okay, so next up we're going to do like a prayer press position with a tricep extension overhead. So you're going to really push into those hands and put them above your head, and you're going to go all the way down to your back and then straight up. But you have to keep pushing those hands together so that your arms are using their muscle contraction the whole way through. And try and keep those elbows right by the sides of your head so that you can't even really see them in your peripheral vision, only a little bit. If they start edging forward like this, you're not working hard enough. So put them behind your head and try to get all the way down to touching your back, and then up to full extension. And keep pressing those palms together. And again, we're not doing any of these moves fast. Okay, and now we're going to do arm circles, but to the back this time, so the opposite direction. So just give your arms a little, you might need to shake them out in between because they're going to burn, I tell you. Okay, so backwards. I actually really like some weightless arms ones because I can just sort of I mean, you could do most of these, not necessarily all of them, but most of them you could do sitting. Definitely if you were sitting in a chair versus sitting on a couch, or on like a stool where you had space behind you, because we are going to be doing some moves behind us. So if your chair didn't have a back, then you could do all of these sitting, or you could do them on your knees, or, you know, probably sitting cross-legged on the floor. So you could definitely be watching TV, if that's, you know, a way to pass the time for you when working out. You know, whatever works for you. Listening to your favorite music, listening to a podcast of something. So just going to take a break here, shake it out. And next up we're doing, I just call them robot arms. So we're going to take our arms like this, make fists, and we're going to rotate them down and then rotate them all the way back up. So just down and up. And we're trying to keep our arms at shoulder height the whole time we're doing it. So we want those elbows to stay in line with our shoulders if we can. As you get tired, they're going to sort of sink down. That's normal. And then we just try, we go, oh, and we bring them back up again. And try and keep them at shoulder height. And the whole time we're standing here, we definitely want to have very good posture so that pelvis is tucked under just a little bit. The knees aren't fully locked out. There's that slight little bit of a bend to take the pressure off the lower back. And those abdominals are pulled in. Don't pull them in so hard you can't breathe, but, you know, sort of guide that belly button towards the spine. Okay, so next we're going to do a shoulder blade squeeze. So we're going to have this same type of arm, and I'm going to show you backwards. You're going to squeeze the shoulder blades together like you're trying to get those bones to touch behind. Now, I can't get mine to touch. I don't know how flexible you are. I don't think most people can, but some can. And so you're just, that backward squeeze of pulling them together, that's how you're trying to work. So I'll show it from the side as well. And again, you've got your arms in that same position where you're just holding them out to the side. Keep squeezing behind you. Just a few more seconds here. I don't know about you, but I'm definitely feeling burn already. Okay, so give them a shake out. And then the next one, remember when we did that prayer position before? We're going to do the same thing with our hands, but we're going to bring our elbows together so there's no space in between them. And we're going to put them up to sort of shoulder level, and we're just going to push up a little and down. And again, you've got those hands pressed tight together and the elbows pressed tight together. And you're just going sort of up an inch, down an inch kind of a thing. It's a small movement. But boy, oh boy, now you've got the biceps burning. We've got the forearms burning. We've got the shoulders burning. And we haven't lifted a weight. In fact, I'm feeling it so much, you've probably noticed I've started to shuffle my feet. And that's fine. If you want to walk around and sort of take your mind off the pain, if you want to do like some calf raises, whatever works for you, just keep the focus on those hands and those elbows pushing hard together. Whew. Okay, so now this is one of those rear moves I was telling you about. So we're going to do straight arm scissors. So you want the arms straight behind you, and we're going to bend a little bit in the knees and lean forward, and we're going to sort of scissor those arms. So I'll show you a bit more from the back. Scissor them so one palm is going over top of the other each time you go in. So they cross behind your back. You're just sort of holding slightly forward, so you're getting a bit of a quad burn here as well as you hold this. And you're leaning just slightly forward, the tailbone is tucked, and those arms are rigid. So they are totally straight. You don't want any sort of spaghetti noodle arms. You want them nice and firm, like 2x4s slicing behind your back. Or blades of steel. Oh my goodness, does anybody remember sort of the Of Steel workout series? Abs of Steel, Buns of Steel. They were really big for a while. Oh. Okay, we're going back to that prayer press position, and this time we're doing a bicep prayer press. So we're going to have just the hands together, and we're going to go out in front of us and then pull them back in. So from the side. And you really have them, and those biceps are going to be pushing hard those hands together the whole time. And it's just like you're doing a bicep curl. Same motion at the elbow. And you have to keep those palms really pushing together the whole time. So what's really neat about doing weightless arm workouts and why it's important to include, even if you're someone who lifts weights all the time, is because we are working those muscles completely differently. And all of the little assisting muscles are getting lots of work at the same time. So we're getting a much more well-rounded muscle and therefore better definition. So it doesn't necessarily mean they're going to get bigger, just that they will look more sleek and more defined. Okay, so now we're doing an alternating single arm pull out. So arms are out to the side and you're just going to pull one in and squeeze that shoulder blade behind you as you pull it in. So I'll show you from the back. So I'm squeezing that elbow behind me each time I pull an arm in. I always feel so rude when I turn backwards because I'm talking to the wall instead of talking to you. But just so I can show you that squeeze behind. And so just keep squeezing it behind, one arm at a time. And we are past halfway through the workout now. Excellent. You can take a break. So now we're going to do a rear straight arm raise. So this is another one where we're going behind us. So again, we're going to get sort of into that slightly crouched position, and you want the arms behind you, again, like solid 2x4s. There's no bend, and you're just going to raise up and up, little pulses behind us. So no scissoring this time, just straight up and down with totally straight arms. There's no bend at the elbow, no bend at the wrist, and they are strong. They are, everything is flexed. So you could even be holding something on top of those hands. That's what you're doing so that they stay flexed the whole time. And again, those quads might feel a little bit of a burn from holding this position. And that's okay. Excellent. Whew. Now we're going to do, I have to give them a little shake out, let the vibrations work through the muscle, loosen them up again. Now we're going to do a straight arm shoulder lift. So the arms are straight out to the side, and you're just going to shrug those shoulders and down. So you're just shrugging them up and down. So the arms are staying parallel to the ground, just the shoulders are doing the work here. Sliding up and down. And again, you've got straight arms, no bend at the elbow, no bend at the wrist. You can make fists if you prefer fists to a straight hand, that's fine. But you don't want any bend at the wrist and you don't want any bend at the elbow. And you want all the muscles throughout the whole length of the arm flexed. Nice and tight. If someone comes along and tries to bend your arm or push it down, they shouldn't be able to. That's what you're trying to do. Okay, so next up we're going to do like just an elbow squeeze. So we put those hands behind our head and we're going to squeeze them forward to touch and then pull them back open. Okay. So again, squeeze them forward, pull them back. Squeeze forward, pull back, and I can show you from the side. So we're just squeezing and pulling back. When I do weightless exercises like this, I involve my kids a lot, especially right now they're at home, right? There's no school going on here where we are still. So we can do a lot of these and I don't have to worry about them lifting weights, which they can do at their ages, they can definitely do. But if I'm not 100% focused on watching their every move and making sure that they're doing it correctly, these are great moves for them to do. They're less likely to cause any injury. Okay, and next up we're just going to do some little boxing jabs. So we're just going to go forward and forward. Okay? We'll get the heart rate up a little bit, and we want the arms, no bend at the wrist here for sure, and those thumbs tucked behind, and you're just going to go forward and forward. And you can stand totally still if you want. You can turn your torso a bit, or some people like to step it. It's whatever you prefer. I actually really like doing boxing workouts. I find them super energizing, and I just feel so strong after. I'm sure I look silly and ridiculous doing it, and I just don't care. Because I feel so good afterwards, after I've done it. So I really like doing boxing workouts. Sometimes I even add I have these little 1 pound walking weights that like strap on to your hands. And so I can add those because they're just a lightweight. And when I'm done, I feel like I can take on the world. Okay, next up we're just going to do, they're like bird wings, angel wings. So you have your hands, and we're just going to go up on one side and then up on the other, and then 2 together, a bit of a brain teaser. Okay, so we're going to go up, and then together. So up on one side, other side, together. And it doesn't matter if you're doing the same arm as me. Just try and do 2 singles and then 1 double. So single, single, and double. Let's see if you can get that brain in there. And I flex my wrist when I do this one, but you don't have to. You can keep it straight arm if you want. And it's sort of like clapping then. It's whatever you prefer. I'm really just stretching my wrist at this point because I've been holding them straight for most of the exercises. Excellent. Okay. So we are going to do a lateral straight arm raise plus a pull down. So we're going to go up and pull and push and down, and up and pull down and push up and down. And this is our last move. We're going to get straight into stretching after this. So hopefully you have felt some burn. I know I have. And it's very important for us to stretch out these muscles after. I always try to remind people that if you don't stretch out, not only are you putting yourself at a much greater risk for injury, because those muscles are all bunched up tight together, they've been working really hard, but they stay bunched up, and so they heal. Okay, so we're going to start with the tricep stretch right here. So I'm just going to pull it behind my head and then push that elbow down. They stay in that sort of bunched up position. So you don't get this nice, long, lean muscle look. It gets all bunchy. And of course, that's why, one of the reasons why you can get injured is because they're all bunched out. They don't get that stretch out time so that they can heal in a nice position. Okay, and switch sides. So now you've just got the other arm up behind the head, reaching down between those shoulder blades there. So stretching is so, so important, but it also makes the muscle look better. So take the time. We're only spending, like 4 minutes here? I think not even 3 minutes at the end to try and stretch out a little bit. It doesn't take that much time. Okay, and then we're just going to pull it straight across our body. If you can just carve in 3 minutes at the end of a workout. If it's a full body workout and you have more muscle groups to do, try and combine stretches so you're doing a leg stretch at the same time as an arm stretch. And you can get in a pretty decent body stretch in less than 5 minutes, and it's certainly better than not stretching at all. So try and fit it in. Okay, and just to the other side. I know that we always feel like, oh, I'll do it later. I don't have time. I'm running out the door. Believe me, 3 minutes is not going to make or break your day. You will feel more relaxed. I often find if we move just that little bit slower when we're doing things, we make fewer mistakes. And it's the same with our bodies. If we just take those extra couple of minutes at the end to say thank you to those muscles, they will, okay, now we're going to do a chest expansion, so just pull behind you. They will reward you by not getting injured. By staying stronger, longer, by helping you age better, so that you can continue to do all the things that you want to do. And I say this, and I know people said it to me, and I didn't listen. It took an injury, it took getting older, because being in my mid-40s is a lot different than being even in my mid-30s. And now we're just going to push that the other way and get that upper back. And I don't skip stretching anymore. I have learned my lesson. And if there's one thing I could impart on you, it's don't make the mistake I did. Just do it right from the start. Save yourself the pain of an injury and the frustration. I probably wouldn't have arthritis in my knees if I had listened. Excellent job, everybody. That was a great upper body workout. Hopefully you felt the burn. Even if you didn't feel like a super strong burn, you definitely worked all of those muscles in a different way than you would get from lifting dumbbells, a kettlebell, hand weights, medicine ball, any of those things. It is good to work some of these still large muscle groups, but all of the really smaller assisting muscle groups and get that much more well-rounded muscle. If you like this, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, let me know what else you'd like to see, and have a great day.